Last night in Orlando, Jeremy Stephens cemented himself as one of the best featherweights on the planet after folding Josh Emmett in half and finishing the fight with his vintage ground and pound. An illegal knee may have taken place, but the referee missed it, so for today we will explore the rebirth of a fierce warrior who now lurks near the Iron Throne at 145. Jeremy Lil'Heathen Stephens is enjoying somewhat of a rebirth at the later stages of his career. Although just 31 years old, his resume showcases the work of a battle-tested seasoned veteran inside the octagon. Well known for his hard-punching power and iron will to engage in a firefight no matter who is standing across from him. Jeremy Stephens 2.0 has been on the shelf and available for fans since joining Alliance MMA, who have helped him fill the perceived holes while transforming a savage into being able to walk a fine line. The one that will allow him to flow freely on the outside, then step into the pits of hell, which is also known as the pocket. A place where Jeremy Stephens has shined. A microcosm of comfort for Lil'Heathen where he can thrive in the chaos while unloading his sledgehammers. Now coming off 3 straight performance bonuses, beating Gilbert Melendez over the course of 3 rounds, then dispatching of the Korean Superboy after a spectacular performance, and of course last night defeating a very dangerous Josh Emmett. His confidence now at an all-time high and the toolbox polished. Let's look at some of the weapons that have positioned Stephens to be in line for a potential title shot. A strike that can be traditionally countered, yet Stephens has mastered throwing kicking techniques. I say low kick, not leg kick, because he is typically going to the thigh, calf, or coming to the inside. Kicks thrown with no setup have to come in rhythm with precision timing and of course have to count. Opponents will feel the power in his hands first, then their legs start getting ripped apart. Blitzing to close space before throwing, but then seems to micromanage the distancing, which is ultimately why they are so effective. The body kick, another vicious weapon, either off the switch step or the plant leg. Same sort of windup as the low kick, turning his hips over while chopping through. His technique goes underappreciated because of the force, but the force is generated by the technique. He remains one of the most underrated kickers in the game. Why? Because his hands are so deadly. The main weapons are the overhand right and the rear uppercut, but Stephens will use the jab to set up the right hand. The jab often flows smoothly to set up a bomb from the right side. Because he is constantly pushing forward, the effectiveness of his counter-striking goes unnoticed. As well, the left hook, whether it be offensively or off the check with a right hand in front or behind. The rear uppercut has been a great finishing or fight-changing strike for the tenure of his time with the UFC. Sometimes he loads up from the hip, sometimes it comes disguised as a right hand. Either way, Stephens seems to get himself off the center line while remaining in the pocket to deliver this deadly blow. Then of course his work to the body, where Stephens will dig, throwing vicious shots to the breadbasket. Boxers call it money in the bank for a reason. And when you throw as hard as Jeremy Stephens, it gets the opponent's attention. So how does Stephens strike so effectively given all that he puts into these shots? Power punchers aren't renowned for their footwork, but make no mistake about it, Jeremy Stephens moves very well. He is extremely loose and then bang, he lets go. It's the mix of a free flow to blitzing attack that will complement each other so well. The use of a simple level change before firing these deadly combinations does a few things. 1, it helps him to disguise what he is throwing as mentioned earlier, and 2, it helps him dig in. Nice and loose, then he plants and launches these missiles, painting a beautifully violent masterpiece in the process. But Stephens has a few more tricks up his sleeve. The check and jumping knee are both vicious and unpredictable options for the veteran fighter. Both used when the right read presents itself. Either Stephens smells blood in the water or the timing is right. Either way, he finds a home for the knees, which do tremendous damage to opponents or act as a catalyst for finishing the fight. Last but not least, the ground and pound. Again, this is so effective because his top game is so good. Stephens knows how to maintain posture while keeping himself in the right position to throw. Oftentimes, fighters are dropped and he is going in for the kill, but we should appreciate this facet of the game more than we do. He is smothering, relentless, and incredibly effective from top, throwing looping bombs, big elbows, devastating shots to the midsection, or whatever presents itself. That's what's so good about his ground and pound. He makes it what it is. This is a time when a fighter can recover or become dangerous off their back. But Stephens is like a shark in the water, his natural killer instinct special. We have gotten to watch one of the more explosive and exciting fighters of this generation. His record can deceive the average fan while his body of work cannot. All of a sudden, winning consistently becomes a thing of the past, as Stephens has enjoyed beating 3 of the top 145ers on the planet. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe and check the description section to locate my main channel. And again, if you enjoyed that, please subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course check back to my channel for all of the best in MMA news and technical analysis. It's your boy Kobe, the one and only, the realest, checking out from Windsor, Ontario. Peace!